The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "Be merciful just as your Father is merciful. Stop judging and you will not be judged. Stop condemning and you will not be condemned. Forgive and you will be forgiven. Give and gifts will be given to you. A good measure packed together, shaken down, and overflowing will be poured into your lap. For the measure with which you measure will in return be measured out to you." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
So there's some real good spiritual logic that our Lord gives us today, and it kind of flies in the face of every tendency we have. So basically, like whatever you feel like doing, do the opposite. I mean, that's kind of in a sense of how we roll a little bit. And I bring that up in light of what's called concupiscence. So concupiscence. So at baptism and through Christ on the cross, we've been washed away. Like original sin has been washed away. So like we've been resuscitated, been brought back to life, but we still limp. So concupiscence, we still have an inclination to sin. Even though we've been redeemed through our baptism, we still have an inclination to sin. So we still limp, I guess is the image. So we have to work against those tendencies. So left unchecked, we're not merciful. We do judge. We do condemn. We don't give. Things like that. Left unchecked. But through God's grace, we can, and we're supposed to, we're called to. So we have to be aware that not every inclination we have is bad, but we do veer that direction. And so our Lord He's educating us. Hey, if you be merciful as your Father's merciful. If you don't want to be judged, don't judge other people. You don't want to be condemned, don't condemn other people. You want to be forgiven, forgive. You want gifts to be given to you, then give. So it's not. We've got to be taught that, I guess, in other words. And our Lord is telling us how to do it. So anyway, that's where blessings lie. Just the simple fact here, if you want to receive, then give. It does not make worldly sense, but it does make spiritual sense. And I'm sure we've all seen that to various degrees, but it can be very hard to, give financially or monetarily, but it always pays dividends in our own lives. That's not why we do it necessarily, but it does come back to bless us. So anyway, as we're in this stretch of Lent, and the notion of almsgiving is part of Lent, let's be real with that and know that how we sow is how we will reap. If we sow sparingly, we'll reap sparingly. If we sow abundantly, good measure flowing down will be poured into our lap. So be not afraid to give. It always comes back to us in some way, shape, or form. The Lord cannot be outdone in generosity.